Hey girl, hey, so today's video is brows. Everyone always asks what I use for my brows. What is that? What is that? What is it? What do you use? How is it so vibrant? Does it stay all day? Yes. Yes, it does. And it is a matte lippy. The brand really don't matter. I use the crayon case because I have a PR, so I get it all the time. But it don't matter what matte lippy you use, just as long as it dries down. Because you don't want to use a gloss because it stays wet. Like, come on now. We all know this. Matte lippy. So if you want to do colored hair and you want to match your brows to your hair, get a matte lippy because most companies only do like ebony, which is black, and then they do like a blonde, a brown, a brown, a light, you know what I'm saying? They don't do colors. And there is one company that does a color, but I boycotted them years ago, and I'm just like, they don't really have this purple anyway. So, yes, get into these brows. And we're getting into the freckles and how I make them look natural. So I did this cute little look, not during the video. I kind of did this part off camera, but I just did something just to throw something on my face to finish up. But this video, if you want to know about my brows and you want to know about how my freckles get so natural looking, keep watching. Okay guys, let's get started with our primed face. You're going to use the crayon case 02 flat angled brush. It does not have to be by the crayon case. This is just the one that I'm using. Works great. And this is the matte lippy that I use. This is the one that I use. It matches my hair perfectly. I start off by just tapping my brush on the end of the applicator. And then I draw a line. I do shave off the ends of my brows just because my brows grow really thick and weird at the end. So I shave that off just so I can get that high arch in there. You don't have to do that to your brows at first. You can shape them however you want, but this is how I start off. Once I get that bottom line where I want it, I start on the top and I just angle it down and I connect it all together. I also decided to do this video in real time, so none of it is sped up. So if you would like to like speed through while I'm just perfecting it, that's okay. Go ahead. I will not be mad. Once I get my desired shape, I just take the applicator and I fill in the end of my brow. Once I'm finished with that part, I like to go in with my flat brush that I used in the beginning to shape it out. And I make like little hair-like little motions. I just kind of flick it up. I am going to be doing two different brows. So if they look different at the end, there's a reason I'm doing two different brows. So this is how I do the hair flicking motion. I am going to go in with the spoolie and actually buff all of this out. Now, normally when I do the hair flicking motion, I leave it. I don't buff it out with a spoolie, but I'm just showing you the two types of brows that I wear. So this is me just, I'm starting to buff it out a little bit, but I am going to go in with a spoolie just to show you how I finish buffing it out. Here's a spoolie, comes with a flat end if you want to use this for just your brows. I use it sometimes, but I don't always use a spoolie, but sometimes I do. And this is me buffing all that good stuff out. When you use a spoolie, it kind of gives you that gradient effect where it's light in the beginning and it gets darker as you go to the back. I'm just filling in some more spaces. I would call this the Insta brow. This is the brow that everyone wants in the makeup community. Like, this is like the famous type of brow with the spoolie, fade it all out in the front. Make it look, I guess, as natural as possible. But this is one way you can do your brows. I'm not gonna do the other one just because I kind of showed you it anyway. I'm just gonna come back with it already finished. This is what it looks like if I were to leave it alone and not buff it out. Now, if I were to do that hair flicking motion and then not use a spoolie and buff it out. So these are two types of brows that I wear. It just depends on how I feel and what I really want my makeup to look like. It's the best part about makeup. You get to choose what you want to look like every day. Quick little makeup hack. I use foundation instead of concealer to cut my brows, cut my crease. It just comes in bigger packaging. I can buy more of it at once. This is my brows after I've already shaped them with the foundation and got them all nice and sleek. What I like about using foundation as also concealer, because I'll use it to cut my crease as well. Like I said, you get way more because the concealer packaging is so small. You go through it, especially being an MUA like me. But I also like to make sure it's all the same brand. So like right now I'm using the Maybelline New York. It's like the 24-hour wear. It's a super stay. It stays a long time. I like to use my concealer shade, my contour shade, and my foundation shade. I like to use them all as the same brand. Like I'll switch it up and use Millennium, but Millennium I'll still have the concealer shade, the contour shade, and my foundation shade. Like I like to use the same brand all on my face. That way it all kind of evens out as well. Because when you tend to use different brands, they kind of like don't blend well all the time together. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But just so you don't have to worry about it, I'll use the same brand all at once. And the reason why I do my foundation like this is because it literally eliminates 5 layers from my face. Because I used to do foundation, and then I would do concealer, and then I would do contour, and then I would set all of that. And then I would put setting spray on top of all of that. That's 5 layers on my skin, and that's just so heavy. My face, I feel like, was always breaking out. So I took those 5 layers down to 1 big layer, and I would spray at the end. And it just makes my face feel light, and I don't have as many blemishes or many breakouts at all. And I just like the way it feels. And to each their own. You can do your makeup however you want. This just works for me. I am going to spray my face with some setting spray, and I'm also going to use a sponge. I don't always use a sponge. Sometimes I use a brush, but today I'm going to use a sponge, and I'm not going to speed this up. I'm going to show you in real time how I blend all this out, because a lot of people tell me, oh, that doesn't work. That's too much. It's not. It really isn't. So I'm going to show you in real time how I blend this out. Don't mind my face. There was like a fly or something, and it had the audacity to fly right in front of my face. I was like, excuse me. But anyways, back to the face. I normally use a brush, so I feel like this literally took forever. So like I said, if you want to speed past this and you don't really care about this part, like I said, I'm not going to be mad. I speed past it my damn self. But it normally don't take me this long, and I feel like it doesn't stay as dark when I use a brush versus a sponge. So I noticed I had to like add a little bit more foundation here and there, and just like add a little bit more of the concealer shade, even though it still is foundation, but it would be where you would normally put your concealer. Had to add a little bit more just because I feel like it was blending a little weird. Like I said, I haven't used a sponge in forever. I'm normally used to brushes, so it's okay. I fixed my little mess up, but it still blends out. We still get it. We still get it. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. Also, this brand of foundation dries kind of fast. So with the dark one, I feel like I had a little issue blending it out with the sponge because it was drying before I could get to it. So like I said, I normally use a brush and it goes a lot faster. I don't know why, but it just does. So I think that's another reason why I added the foundation, just because I feel like it wasn't blending as well as it does when I use my brush. Or maybe I'm just used to my brush because, like I said, I don't really use sponges like that. I'm only using it because I got a huge PR from the crayon case. It had like 7 different beauty blenders in it, all this stuff. So I was like, let me use some brushes or some beauty blenders today, this time. And I wanted to add a little bit more concealer because I kind of like a really bright inner eye. Not under eye, but like the inner eye. I love it being super bright. Now moving on to the freckles that you guys are so fascinated about. Story behind it real quick. My brother who passed away a couple years ago had freckles, and he always used to tell me and tease me like, "Oh, you'll never have freckles," and I'm so adorable with my freckles. And he fucking was. He was the cutest thing, and he had them all over his face. I just wish he would have lived long enough for me to figure out, hey, I can have freckles too, and I could tease him back like, look, I'm cute as shit too. But he didn't make it. He had Hodgkin's lymphoma. Sorry, it's a mouthful, and he did pass a couple years back. But I kind of do it because it makes me feel close to him, and I just like the way it looks. I get a lot of hate comments about it, but I don't really care. I'm gonna do to my face whatever I want. So if you're wanting to learn to do freckles, this is probably the easiest method to make them look the most natural. Like I said, put them on in no rhyme or reason, and then once you get them where you want them, you just take your finger, tap them, and spread them just like this. Once you get them on, usually I set them with setting powder. I set my whole T-zone area and obviously where I put the freckles. I did not do that this time. I don't know why. Another thing, I normally do my freckles after I've done my contour. I'm not sure why I did them first. But yeah, I normally do my contour first. But like I said, the order doesn't really matter. It still worked out. You can see the finished product still came out really nice. But yeah, I normally do my contour and then I do my freckles and then I set my T-zone where the freckles are because it is foundation and you want to set that. I'm not quite sure why I didn't set them, but yeah, it worked out because like I said, this is that super matte. It dries down pretty quickly. Like I said, when I was tongue-tied. Ma'am, can you speak English? When I was buffing out my foundation, it dries pretty quick. This is my first time using this foundation, and I seen it on TikTok. Like, it was like a trend in the makeup community. And I was like, let me try this. And I actually really like how it works out. It kind of resembles the Rihanna makeup, obviously, for a fraction of the price. But her stuff dries down pretty quickly, and it's super matte, and I love it. Okay, now I'm going to contour a little bit using the matte, or this is not the matte book, this is the blush binder. I'm going to be giving one of these away once my YouTube hits 10,000 followers. So hit that follow button, y'all, if y'all want one of these, because I'm giving one away. I normally do the brown first, and I kind of angle it up. I don't know why it looks kind of red already. That's weird. But I'm going to put my blush on top of that. And I notice when I angle it up and I don't go as far in, that it kind of pulls my face up and gives me that nice little snatched face look. And then after this, I am going to add some blush to my nose. This color right here to be exact. I don't always use this color. It's really bright, so I got it there. See? I know y'all seen that. It had the nerve to run in front of my face. Why are you flying in front of my face like that? Anyway, here we go with the blush. I like to put it on top. Like I said, it kind of snatches and pulls my face up like I have like a facelift or something. I really like this method. I don't know why. I forget who I seen do this. But I used to put it underneath my contour or like on the balls of my cheeks. And that made me look so round. I mean, I'm round already and I can't really like do anything about that. But like this just pulls me up and snatches me and I love it. I don't know why I got that goofy smile, but this is the finished product. So I did do 2 different brows. So if you had sped through the whole video and you didn't hear that part, I did do 2 different style brows. Just now noticing that I nicked my brow with my foundation and didn't fix it. Don't mind that. It still looks cute. Anyway, this is my brow and how I do my freckles and make them look natural. If you like this video, there is more to come. I'm trying to get more in the habit of posting more. So I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in the next one.